Look, everybody feels like that when they first start driving.
There was a woman in the paper that failed her test 40 times.
Yeah, all right, I grant you that here and there there's an odd old biddy who never get the hang of it.
Yes, and here and there there's an odd old young biddy like me who's got no... What was it you said? Coordination?
I shouldn't let it worry you. It's the only thing you're short of.
Look, you. That's the sort of remark that starts the tongues wagging.
Oh, come on.
Oh, all right.
Great.
I'll get me coat.
I'm just slipping out to the shops. I'll not be gone long.
Sorry?
Well, I've got to get the shopping done, you know. It won't get done by itself.
Just might for you, Mrs. Caldwell.
Did I do your egg all right for you? Sunny side up?
I never saw one sunnier.
Oh. You've got visitors, Joe. Hello,
Morning.
Sergeant Flint. Hello. I won't be long, Joe.
Right.
Thank you.
Mind if we park?
The answer to last night's query is still negative.
Is that coffee?
The beakers are in the kitchen.
Can you give me a why?
A white of what?
Why you flown the coop after, what do you got in, 9, 10 years maybe?
There have to be a reason?
Look, 1, you're not a college kid building up his draft card. 2, you're not just some civil servant who's decided to quit. And 3, you might need a damn good reason. Gary, what's the rap for an absent without leave these days?
Oh, it's a nothing. On the knuckles, not worth the breath.
Okay, I'll buy some.
While restricted to limits, 2 or 3 months maybe.
Well, there you are, Joe. As of now, that's all it is, just an absent without leave. But boy, you leave it long enough, and you're a deserter. Classified and official. What about desertion?
Hard labor. 3 to 5 years in a state pen.
Come on, Joe. We're buddies, remember? Well, hell, that's why me and Gary are here, for Pete's sake.
A furlough. And we spent half of it laying it after you.
Look, the only reason I can offer is that I'm sick of Army life. I'm sick up to here with it.
Well, hell, half that time, me too. Who isn't?
So this is new?
Look, it's not a half-time thing. I'm a full-time hate the Army man.
What? All of a sudden, after 10 years, you're up to here for, what, 365 days a year?
Vietnam? Did that figure into it, Joe?
No.
Well, do we figure it into it, Joe? Oh, come on. Can't you let us in on it? Well, hell, maybe between us we can figure out what's bugging you, huh?
There is nothing to figure out. Now, look, I've told you.
Yeah? You suddenly get a hang-up on the Army?
Is that for real, Joe? You mean you just don't like the Army, so you've deserted?
3 to 5 in the pen. Hard labor.
If they catch me.
When they catch you. Joe, remember what Eddie Shapiro used to say? The Army never closes a file on a deserter. They'll get you, Joe.
Well, we'll see. So what are you guys going to do now?
Chuck it in there? Suppose so. I'm coming at 2 and 5 for 10 these days. No tick now, no big stick later. Want one? No, thanks. How are you making out with, what's his name, Joe? Making out. Incidentally, you know, when I came round for my stuff the other night, you didn't have to concoct all that complicated gubbins about an old girlfriend coming for his tea.
What did you come back for?
You get your teeth in a right old tangle at times, don't you?
I'd just like to know why you come back.
I live round here.
Oh, let the good times roll.
Well, what do you think I come back for?
Oh, spare me, the butter wouldn't melt in your mouth. Look, we both know why you came back. To bung your blooming whore in.
Oh, you want your bumps feeling. Anyway, if your old girlfriend isn't coming round this afternoon, bless his little heart, have a scan round flat, will you, and see if you can find me plunge bra. If you do, you know where I'll be. 44 Victoria Street. See ya.
Right, she's a cocky little madam, is that one. Not much to be cocky about, neither. Have you noticed how she's all out of proportion? It's a miracle to me how them top-heavy ones keep their balance. Well, Chuck, soon be on us again, won't it?
What will?
Christmas. Christmas comes but once a year.
Well, it couldn't come twice, could it? I mean, the one we've got goes on for about 8 months.
Yeah, well, I suppose if it wasn't for the kids, it would have... Oh, I'm sorry, love.
Nothing to be sorry for. I agree with you if it wasn't for the kids. I mean, you and me can't go through life dwelling on the past, can we, Mum?
No, well, I try not to, you know. I suppose it's just with Christmas coming up. It's one of them times, isn't it? Like birthdays and things.
Anyway, you like entertaining, don't you, Mum?
Oh, I'm not much cop at it, Chuck. Except when I worked in the ball bearings during the war. Me and Bo P. Pinchcliffe used to take off Nat Mills and Bobby. Oh, we had them in tucks. Dead and
I don't mean that kind of entertaining. Listen, I mean like, you know, when you have someone round for a drink or a meal.
Who?
You.
No, I mean, who do I entertain for meals?
Look, Mum, how about you inviting me and Joe round for tea?
Oh. Oh, well, you don't usually like coming round with your friends, not as a general rule of thumb.
Well, I've changed. They say you grow more tolerant of people's failings as you're batting on a bit, don't they?
Of course, your dad was always a dirty big drawback if I fancied having company in, you know. Mind you, he's mellowed a lot. He's not half the dog-rough demick he used to be.
Well, that's because you brought your influence to bear, isn't it?
Do you remember going to my cousin Clarice's when you was little?
No.
Oh, you do? In Failsworth?
No.
That's funny. I could have sworn it was you we took. Anyhow, Clarice's husband Norman used to work at the Borough Treasurer's, and he always went to work with a tie on. That were considered very posh in them days, you know. And he never took his holidays in Wakes Week. That were posher still.
Why don't you make a record, Mum? The fascinating folklore of Failsworth, that stuff goes a bomb these days.
Yeah, so of course, our Clarice couldn't help hinting to your dad that you don't wear a muffler when you go round for your Sunday tea.
So my dad took his off and strangled her with it.
Oh, no, it was worse than that, Chuck. He leaned right across the table and spat in her chips.
Oh, Mum. Oh, well, you couldn't accuse him of being suckle, could you?
Oh, I couldn't help laughing at the time. Not set eyes on Clarice from that day to this.
Must have been something you said then, mustn't it? Anyway, come on, we're getting off the subject. How about inviting me and Joe round this afternoon?
This afternoon, Chuck? Oh, well, I've got nothing in. Mother Hubbard's cupboard was packed compared to mine.
You must have summit.
Well, it is the middle of the week, you know, love. Me and your dad was going to have a cheese and onion pie warmed up.
You can use that tatty little head of yours when you want to, can't you?
What do you mean?
What do you want?
Pound of ham, large tin of pineapple rings, tin of peas, tin of new potatoes, large tin of peaches and a bottle of cream.
You all right for salt and pepper?
Yeah. Oh, and can I borrow your table napkins? Because mine's a bit frayed, if you know what I mean.
Ah, you haven't got any. Come on upstairs, we'll have a look round.
Right.
Aye. Oh, Maggie, will you just come and see to Elsie, please? She'll not be long, love. Come on, Mum.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Elsie. Hi. Oh, I'm in a bit of a flutter. I've just had the solicitor on the phone about the divorce. Well, it should be final in about a month.
You've done the court bit, then?
Yeah, a couple of months ago. I didn't shout about it.
Never mind. In a few months, you'll be fancy-free and fighting off all the fellas.
Oh.
Hey, drinking?
Rye?
You all right, please?
On the rocks. What's his name again?
Gary Strauss.
I won't refuse him a quick waltz in the Vienna woods. Oops! Sorry, Captain. A story of my life, that always backing into things.
What was in there?
Oh, no, it was my fault.
No, come on.
A gin and tonic.
Can I have a gin and tonic, please, for,
Bet Lynch.
Very glad to know you.
Hi.
Shall we,
Yes.
It's easy as pie when you know how, isn't it?
I'm afraid that approach was somewhat too blatant for me.
Well, it's not exactly my style either, but it does cut a few corners, doesn't it?
Like a steamroller.
Oh, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, love, but have you been hanging on for me for long?
Hello, love.
Well, not to worry. I'll make it up to you. We fit?
Driving lesson.
I'll tell you what, kid. I'm free all afternoon now if you feel like a 2-hour session with me. Come on.
Look, I don't care about them having nasty little thoughts if they've got nothing better to do. But I do object to you throwing out crumbs for them to gobble up.
What do you mean, crumbs?
Sorry to keep you waiting, lover. And you're free all afternoon if I feel like a 2-hour session with you. And you made session sound like I don't know what.
Well, come on then. Let's hit the road.
Or a lamppost.
Are you sure you want this pie?
Do I? I'm killing over through shortage of calories.
Good luck.
Ta.
Well, here's to whatever you wish for yourself, Elsie, and much of it, many of them.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, do you remember Dot Greenhalgh?
I seem to remember the name.
Well, I was just wondering, does she still live around here?
Greg, let's stop this natural progression before it starts. You parted from Dot after a holy cow of a row.
Well, there's no harm in trying to pick up the pieces, is there?
Pick up the pieces? That was 2 years ago. Walter picked them up for you.
Walter? Well, I thought that marriage was kaput, all washed up, nowhere to go.
They sat down and they talked out the differences. It can be done, you know.
Well, the way I got it, they had nothing in common.
Differences.
Oh, big ones. Boy, they were beauts.
The big ones you can sort out. It's the little one that does their damage in the finish.
Pity about that.
Oh, I'll tell Dot how happy you were for her when I see her again.
Oh, heck, Elsie, I am. Of course I am. It's just that, well, you know, a guy gets kind of lonely at times.
Oh, hello, Elsie.
Hello, love.
Hi.
Oh, Miss Nugent.
Sergeant Flint,
Yes?
tell me something. What do you know about herbs?
Herbs what?
Herbs what grow in the garden.
Why?
Oh, nothing.
Better Ray than me, thank you very much.
Better Ray than Ken, I know.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious, Irma. Why do you say that?
Oh, never let your husband learn you to drive.
Oh, I should think not. It's a form of mental cruelty. Well, they're suddenly presented with a chance to prove how inferior you are.
Oh, I don't know. I think that if I were a man, I'd want to teach my wife to drive. Why let someone else do it for you?
Well, you've only to look at Ray to see that. I mean, Val's crashed all the gears, bumped into the curb, and all he does is laugh. If that had been Ken, he'd have clouted a rotten by now.
Perhaps. Thank you very much, Irma.
Oh, she does teach a dim view of him teaching her to drive.
Oh, what? Why? Just because her husband's away? Huh. Honestly, it just makes me laugh, it really does. I mean, I think she's seeing things that are not there. She's getting like the old maid that complained. Every time she put a chair to the window and stood on her tiptoes, she could see nudies.
You might be right.
Maggie, do you mind if I go and put a few rollers in?
No? You going out?
Yes. I'm dining with the jet set.
Oh.
Hi, Maggie.
Hello, Elsie.
Greg and I were just... Oh, I forgot. You haven't been formally introduced, have you? Greg Flint, Maggie Clegg.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, again.
Greg and I were just saying, you know, we're talking of this, that, and the other, and suddenly, for no reason whatsoever, we started talking about herbs. All right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Herbs. Yeah.
Oh, are you interested in herbs?
Oh, yeah, sure. They've been sort of a passion of mine for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, when he was in America, Greg was considered to be an expert. They called him the herb man of... Montana.
Oh.
But English herbs, nothing.
Dumb. Boy, am I dumb when it comes to English herbs.
Yes.
Yes.
Stan. Well, it's all a long time ago now.
What, since I wore a tie, since it was 5p a pint?
No, Chuck, since the war ended.
Oh, no. I read it in the paper at the time.
So there's no future in raking up the past, is there?
Hello.
Oh, yeah, you done that lovely, Chuck. Considering you was a late starter with ties.
I know, they want to wear flipping ties for. What do you mean it's a long time since the war finished?
Eh? Oh, yeah, well, Joe's a Yank, isn't he?
Yeah?
Yeah, and I know they didn't pull their weight like our lads did, but that's no reason for you to mention it, is it? I mean, after all, they did come over here to help us out, didn't they?
Yeah, eventually.
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing, Chuck.
What?
Don't ask him where the Yanks were in 1939. Because wherever they were, it wasn't his fault. Oh, hello, Chuck. You're nice and punctual. Hello, Joe.
Miss Ogden, nice of you to ask me around.
Not at all. Have you met Stanley? Or Stan, as some folks call him?
Well, we haven't been officially introduced. Hello, Miss
Afternoon.
Ogden. Hope you like bourbon, by the way.
Hiya, Joe.
Ken?
Father Christmas.
Same thing. Ice Palace, North Pole.
Oh, that's where he makes all the toys. Dear Father Christmas, please bring me... They have me writing all this, you know. A dolly, a dolly's deck chair, a dolly's carry cot, got dollies on the brain.
Oh, I don't subscribe to all that lot.
No, me neither.
No, I mean the Father Christmas bit.
Look, Father Christmas lives in a beautiful ice palace at the South Pole, and just the subject is now closed.
I don't suppose he'll bring me anything now, will he?
I would doubt it.
Oh, well.
Hello, Elsie.
What, am I intruding?
Whereabouts?
Oh, clock him one.
Developing a driving instructor's sense of humour, hasn't he? They do have those funny turns, don't they? How's your driving going on, by the way?
Oh, it's coming along terrible.
Oh, I do wish you'd stop running yourself down.
Well, how can I if I'm driving? I'm the only one who's safe from me running them down.
I saw you do one or two three-point turns.
Yes, well, they're more like 12-point turns, really, but I'm trying to get them down to about 10 or 11.
Defeatist.
I brought you some new samples of eyeshadow to show you. I thought you might like it. Ray doesn't like it when you run yourself down, does he?
Well, I think driving with me's made him a bit edgy.
There we are.
It's a good nerve tonic.
That's it, plum.
Oh, plum? Can I,
Yeah, try it. Try the whole range. Make yourself totally irresistible.
For Mrs. Baxter?
Who?
Mrs. Baxter on Inkerman Street. She's looking after the kids. That reminds me, I must go and get them.
Thanks very much. And a lot of GIs in the 8th, you know. 8th Army, you know, in the desert. Monty's mob.
Have you had a sufficiency to eat, Joe?
She means a full up.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Ogden. That was a lovely spread you put on there.
Oh, no, it was nothing special. Just more a case of laying an extra place, actually.
Patton's outfit.
Oh, yeah, Pat.
Ah, American First Army. Remember that lot landing? 2 weeks after we knocked Rommel out of El Alamein.
Stanley, would you pass me the condiments, please?
Where'd he keep them?
Right in front of you. Tobruk and Benghazi, or as we sometimes call them, salt and pepper.
Of course, I was in the front line most of the time, you know, where the angry lads were, you know. It took Tosh Henry and me 3 days to get back to the nearest...
American Army base?
Ah, well, they took us in the NAFI. Well, they don't call it NAFI, do they? No, they call it PX, that's it.
Mum, do you want an hand? Well, I'd prefer it if your dad had shut up and shift summit.
Shift what?
Start with your backside.
I'm talking to Joseph. Mind you, the Yanks had it all the jam on it, didn't they? Everything laid on, you know. Good tabs, ice-cold beer, plenty of money in your pocket to buy it with. They were generous to us, mind you. Over generous, yeah.
Chuck, why don't you and Joe go for a drink? Me and your dad will see to the dishes.
Right, Joe.
No, that's fine with me.
Oh, Joe, I want to put one thing on record before you go. You know, all this talk about the Yanks bombing their own. Well, I mean, there's no smoke without a fire, is there? We know that, eh? But speaking for myself, personally, I think there was a lot of exaggeration about that, you know. Hello.
OK, Sailor, you're not chasing time yet?
Oh, no, it's not that. I was just wondering where Joe was.
Hey, did they really give you a medal for coming to England? Or is it just one more of those silly stories?
That's the one. The ETO. European Theatre.
Operations?
That's right.
And what's that one for?
Well, that's for good housekeeping. Yeah, and that's for the Battle of Burton Wood. And this is for getting 2/3 dividends on the treble chance.
And you don't know all that much about herbs either.
You can teach me.
I saw a programme on telly once about how American men are dominated by women. The mothers first, and then when they've softened them up, the wives take over.
You just gotta be kidding.
Is it really like that?
Well, it may be for some, but don't tell me. The conclusion was we're all dominated by women?
Did you watch it?
I've seen 1,000 shows like that, you know, stateside these days. They seem to think Britain's a kind of downtown Sodom and Gomorrah. So, you come over here to grab yourself a sexy slice of life, and that's it. All of you summed up. Mrs. Caldwell, Mr. Tatlock, Miss Nugent.
And me?
Maybe you make the scene.
So you're not scared of women, then?
You can find out later tonight.
Hello. Hi. Can we join you? We're on the run.
You're on the what?
We're on the run. We've just escaped the horrible clutches of Iowa's Goring stubble. You know.
You twit.
Yeah. Well, could you put the call back till later? Say 8 o'clock. Oh, if you could, that'd be fine. Thank you. It's a good job I stayed. You just missed your old man.
Ken? Did Ken ring? Oh, what? Oh!
All right. All right. Get
right.
down into bottom gear. I asked them to put the call back until 8 o'clock, all right?
Oh, good. Thanks, Elsie. Hey, I wonder what he wants.
Excuse me, I'll go and get Joe a hand.
Look, if you don't call me Betty, I'm not going to serve you.
Okay. We had the same order as last time, please. What's the matter? You all right, Betty?
Yes, I'm all right. I've got a corn growing on my little toe and I've just caught it. Ooh, I'll have no fury like a woman's corns.
She says she's got a corn growing on her little toe.
Look, Joe, how much have you told Irma about you, about what's going on?
I haven't told her anything.
Why not?
Look, I don't know why not. Maybe I will. I don't know. What's it to you?
Nothing. It's impersonal. All I want to know is, are you going back to the unit?
Look, Greg, change the needle or change the record or change something. And you just get off my back, Sergeant.